Truth of the matter is that, am I good at being independent? Yes. Do I want to be? No.
I think I got possessed by a housewife. Is that what happens?
Time and experience are changing their perspective and mindset related to being strong and independent. They are slowly concluding that it's not as good as they were told, and this is why from time to time they record videos saying that they no longer want to be part of it. Now they want men. Let's check their videos.
Truth of the matter is that, am I good at being independent? Yes. Do I want to be? No.
But what is wrong with being strong, independent, and doing it all? This is what you do when you become an adult. I still don't understand why modern women refer to being an adult as being strong and independent.
I just think of all the times that I'm like building furniture and providing for myself and doing all of this, and like, that's great. I love it. She's capable. She can. She's willing and she can. But do I want to? No. I don't want to open any more doors on my own. I don't want to hang any more TVs on my own. Can I? Yes, and I will if I must. But do I want to? I want a tall, handsome man to open my doors for me. I want a handsome man to hang my TVs. I want a handsome man to help me with my taxes because I am barely hanging on trying to do this whole independence by myself as a woman. I can't.
The strong and independent I don't need men is easier said than done. And I can say that most women who decide to do it all are no longer enjoying doing it. They are getting tired and the door is getting heavier. Something tells me that she's not speaking for herself only. She is most likely speaking for the majority of them, and this is something they do their best to hide. When you sign up to be strong and independent, it's recommended to read well all the paragraphs of that contract because it's not all sweet as they said. One thing I find fascinating is the fact that when they are self-sufficient, they label themselves as independent. But the question is, what do they mean by independent? I'm glad we don't use that term to describe ourselves when we become an adult. At this point, she might as well continue doing her thing. So far, she's been good at it. As she said in the video, nobody assembled furniture and mounted a TV on the wall for her. She did it all by herself. That is a good achievement, and she did well until the present date. Why stop now? Let's check the comment. My husband always asking, you used to do this stuff when we first got together. Why don't you now? Because you're here. That's literally the point. She has a good sense of humor, but at the end of the day, she took another route and got herself a husband to support her. That was a clever move. Two are better than one. Let's have a look at another one. I don't get why women nowadays use the word independent instead of adult. I bet most men have the same question. Why do they call themselves independent when they are just doing what a normal adult is supposed to do for themselves? It makes no sense. I am glad we don't have videos of men claiming they are strong and independent just because they are self-sufficient. Next, we have another woman who also got tired of doing it all. I love this. We weren't made to do everything ourselves. This is a normal thing between strong and independent. They weren't aware that it has an expiring date, but now they know it, and this is why they are after a man to lift a bit of weight off of their back. Let's check another one. Thank you. Recently broke up with my very tall, very handsome man, and let's just say I was so ready to be his wife, and I'm so sick of having to be independent. I don't get those feminists. Like how? This is the conclusion they get after trying to be strong and independent. It's not as good as they were told, and doing it all is not for everyone.
I must be pretty weak-willed because all it took was falling in love with a man, and now I'm like, not really. I mean, I'm a feminist, but like, kind of. I don't really need my maiden name. I don't really need it. I like your last name better anyway. Like, I'll just take that. I know he can do his own laundry. I know that he can clean the house, but I want to do it for him. I want to cook all his meals. I want to make sure he's getting all his whole grains, all his vegetables. I want to make sure he's getting all that protein. He has not asked any of this of me. It just kind of naturally kicks in. Like, these instincts just kind of come out of like, oh, now I have to take care of you when you're sick. Oops, I made you breakfast and it fits all of your dietary requirements. My bad. I think I got possessed by a housewife. Is that what happens?
This is what happens when a feminist faces a masculine man. They automatically become feminine. At this point, we can say that she is normal. This is when she will act based on her nature without the interference of feminist ideology telling her what to do when dealing with a man. And this is the stage where she is happier the most. We can see the spontaneity when she is talking about the life she is currently living. Good for her, she found someone to save her from what was about to come from the feminist lifestyle. The best part is when she said, "I think I got possessed by a housewife." But she wasn't possessed by it, she was reset to her default setting, and this is what happened. All the information she consumed over the years about men and relationships, how to act when dealing with men, all of them are gone. Now she is starting again, but this time with no influence of outsiders. Let's check the comment. "I've met a lot of amazing wives and mothers that were feminists before they met their husbands. They bumped into a guy who knew who he was, what he wanted, and where he was going. He had a desire to be a husband, father, and leader. As a result, the woman blossomed into her femininity." This is what happens when a feminist finds a masculine man. Their energy changes. They can't help but become feminine. Let's check another one. "In my 20s, feminism almost got me, but then I remembered how well my home worked with a strong father and a feminine mother. She was lucky to have a good example at home, and this is what saved her from all the struggles and difficult times provided by a strong and independent lifestyle." It's almost like it's our natural instincts as women. Glad she's accepting it. It was interesting when she mentioned that she was glad that this young woman accepted it because she knew that a lot of them wouldn't. They would rather refuse that feeling because they were told that it would make them less. But this is further from the truth.
I still wouldn't call myself feminist, but I had a wall up against men, and I was a little angry about some things that I went through. I was like, I'm independent. I can be very independent. I have been for the last few years. I've been by myself, been doing my own thing, taking care of myself. And it wasn't until this year that is flipping for me, and that I have realized that I have worn myself out. I don't want to be like this anymore. I mean, I want to be able to take care of myself, and now I know I can take care of myself, but I do want that.
Well, I mean,
to be able to go into our feminine is to be able
once you get a
to
little
be
bit
taken
older,
care of.
towards the wall that they call it, that's when you start seeking masculine guidance more.
Again, the wall is doing its thing and brought her to reality. I bet her mindset and attitude were way different from what she is presenting now. This is one thing I always find interesting. They go out there trying to do it all only to find out that it's hard, only to understand that it would be better if they had a partner by their side. But why do they have to wait for the wall to come first? If it wasn't for the wall, she wouldn't be feeling this way. Her pretty privilege is gone, and she's slowly coming back to reality. The guy in the panel was straightforward. He didn't hide anything. Now, I bet she knows why her mindset shifted. Let's read some comments. Women say, "I'm independent like that" is not just the first basic stage of being an adult. You don't get a parade for it. It's expected because you're not a child. I still don't understand why adults would call themselves independent when they are doing what they're supposed to do. But it's also fascinating to see that their mindset changes when they are close to the wall. Let's check another one. The only reason why she cares now is because the wall claimed another helpless victim. We already know they can do whatever they want, but the wall will never be defeated. What is she independent of? Like, don't get it. Men don't run around yelling that we are independent. So what are they talking about? Seems like they become an adult and do what they're supposed to do, then call themselves independent. I also wonder what they mean by that. This is all for today's video. If you like it, don't forget to subscribe.